right, man, let's talk about how the Detroit Lions can survive without receiver, or make do without receiver, whatever I choose to name this video. Come on, Grandma. And I spoke about this a little bit before, but yeah, one of the ways they can actually get by without receivers, I think they already gonna carry about 4 running backs and maybe even up to 4 tight ends. So that's one thing to think about, is that they got a few receiving tight ends that's big and athletic. Now, Zelstra got to get it together, but he coming off injury. And we need James Mitchell to finally arrive. But you got to understand, he was coming off an ACL, getting his feet wet last year. I know he might be in danger of getting cut, but we'll see. But they got their tight ends and they got their backs. Contrary to what people believe, David Montgomery is good out the backfield. He always talks about using Jahmyr Gibbs at receiver too. And the emergence of Aki, and how he looked running, with the ball in his hand off a handoff, catching it. So you got some answers. So it's going to, the number one issue with the Lions last year, offensively, outside of the third quarter, was how was they going to generate plays outside the hashes. And Jameson Williams is supposed to help with that. But you putting that on one guy and somewhat St. Brown to get explosive plays outside the hashes. And what teams going to do this year is they're going to take away the Lions their ability to do something in between the hashes. They're going to first force Goff to throw the ball outside the hashes. So that's going to be, them doing more out-breaking routes. That's going to be them playing more tighter at the line of scrimmage and letting the Lions beat them down the field. That's what it's going to be. But when you can run the football, you can generate plays down the field. When you got Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams touching the football, you can generate explosive plays. When St. Brown can do it, be Golden Tate with the football in his hands, you can create explosive plays. So, but it'll be the offense to go to another level had they been able to create explosive plays outside the hashes consistently, or just plays outside the hashes that would lighten up the box, that would open windows in the middle of the field. Yep. It would open up windows wide in the middle of the field. So, but how they gonna create? Even if they say, well, we're gonna stick with Peoples-Jones or Isaiah Williams / Caden Davis, whichever two, or 2 out of 3, we're gonna stick with them. All right, cool. Then the next question becomes, how we, if they don't work out, what we gonna do? What they gonna do? I'm telling you, you're gonna see a lot of tight ends playing the slot. You're gonna see a lot of tight ends lining outside the hashes. You're gonna see tight ends and running backs lining up and catching the football. They gonna supplement their lack of receivers with running the football and getting the ball to the tight ends and the backs. So you might see Laporta more outside and more inside. Just warning you. You might see more of, you might see more of, Gibbs in the slot. Might see him more on the outside. So, to me, they got so many offensive playmakers that, that They can get creative. You know, it ain't like you ain't got good receivers. You know what I'm saying? You know, Raymond can do well. You know, with expanded role. We'll see what happens with him and see if he continues to return the football in the kick return game. So, to me, it's gonna be very, very interesting. Very interesting. So, but what they can do from a creative standpoint of view, and then you got one of the more creative offensive minds. So, you're gonna see a lot of, you're gonna see a big year from either Brock Wright or Shane Gestra if they don't clean it up at receiver. Somebody gonna get the call. And they gonna be big red zone threats. They gonna be big threats catching the football. They gonna be big threats running the football. So, So, yeah, you're gonna see more running it, more screens, more end arounds, more getting the ball to tight ends out of the slot, lining up out on the outside, boxing out smaller corners. If they keep going this way, you might even see 3 tight ends in bunches. They might just go out there and play bully ball. You might see more wide receiver screens to Gibbs, more end arounds to Gibbs. So, to me, I think Ben Johnson, without having those top receivers, going to be more creative. And what you hope for is that, Isaiah Williams, Caden Davis, Donovan Peoples-Jones, whoever it is, can step up and make plays. Because they're going to see a lot of one-on-one. They're going to see a lot of one-on-one. They're going to see a lot of one-on-one. They is. The matchups is going to be stopping the run, first and foremost, bracketing, St. Brown, taking away Sam Laporta. So, Jameson going to see a lot of one-on-ones. And other receivers going to see it. And they got to beat one-on-one coverage. And what they going to do offensively, they're going to put their best corner. They probably going to put their best corner on, or their best defenders on the other guys. They going to double a guy like St. Brown. They going to probably double or high-low a guy like Laporta. And they going to put their best guy on Jameson Williams and their best guy on the next receiver. I'll tell you what they're going to do. And they're going to say beat us. So, the thing about it is, if you go out there and say, well, let's go get another receiver we really like that we could depend on, that could be a Juju Smith-Schuster, that could be a Michael Thomas. I don't know. Of course, Sutton. Me personally, I like Terrace Marshall. I love him coming out and say, let's do that, right? Whoever you can find that's reliable as another receiver. That way, guess what? Now he got a matchup. So if we gonna double or high-low everybody else and put the best on J-Mo, now he got a matchup. Now he got the worst defender on him going one-on-one, or one of them. And if he can beat him, and then it's fair game. The running game is gonna be the running game. You hope, but it's about everybody else beating their matchups. So, but they got more than enough weaponry and more than enough creativity from an offensive mind to get by. I mean, to easily get by. What Vacky bring in, what Montgomery bring as catchers, what Gibb bring as a catcher, what J-Mo look like he gonna bring, but you don't know until it happens. What St. Brown bring, what he bring, Laporta, and then what Zestra bring as a receiver, what Brock Wright could do with the ball in his hand and as a blocker. James Mitchell is the athletic freak. We just ain't been able to see it translate. We hope it do. So they got options. So it's gonna be fun to watch. The reason I say it's gonna be fun to watch is it's gonna be to see how creative Ben Johnson get. Because he really can get creative, especially if you want to do something with Hendon Hooker. So they should be. They can get funky with it. So but hey, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Appreciate your notifications. Peace.